Hello traders, let's cover Elliott wave theory. So with Elliott wave, there is a lot of information. There's so many ways to trade Elliott wave when you Google it online or you YouTube it, but I'm going to show you the simplified version that works with the BLT. Remember with strategies, you pick a strategy, backtest the hell out of it, pick the one variable that works efficiently with your strategy. So I'm going to show you what works efficiently with the BLT. I'm not going to show you all the other scenarios that you can implement with the Elliott waves. I'm just going to show you the very, very basic one. Okay, and it works incredible with the BLT. So pay attention. First of all, on the left-hand side, we have, so once you can identify the Elliott waves from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which just goes in simple order like this, as you can see, that's it. That's all we need to know. Now, obviously, if Elliott wave 4, for example, closes below Elliott wave 2, it's just completely invalid. Ignore that. There needs to be a valid pattern. That's it. Just a valid pattern of the Elliott wave. Now, vice versa, if you're looking for shorts, we're looking at 1, which starts at the bottom. We're looking for descending patterns. The Elliott wave 1 starts at the bottom. Vice versa, the Elliott wave 1, when you're looking for shorts, starts at the top, right? This is the resistance of the Elliott wave, right? We've got this ascending pattern. So we're looking for price action around the third tap of the pattern. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we're looking for buys and there's a descending pattern, we're essentially looking for 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to do a perfect one now for you guys. This is an example. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. And this is our trade, right? Okay. Very, very simple. That's it. Now, with the Elliott waves, sometimes you may have a pattern here. For example, you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You might have 2 patterns. Notice how it's the same principle, right? It's the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just make sure that the Elliott wave 4, for example, is not up here. It needs to be before Elliott wave 3. Vice versa. This Elliott wave 4 has to be for 3 from this particular area. You don't want it to be above here, for example, above here, because what happens is it forms a pattern that we don't trade, such as 1, 2, 3, and look, 4. It doesn't make sense. It needs to form a clear structural pattern. Let me give you an example on the buy scenario, right? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very, very simple. That's it. So we just need to go ahead and backtest. Going to show you some live examples on how to actually trade it and just use it as a guideline. Elliott wave essentially is just market psychology and just use it as a guideline. Elliott wave theory essentially is just market psychology and market participants predicting where the larger move is about to happen. So with prices dropping from Elliott wave 4, we know there's a high probability that price is going to go all the way down and complete Elliott wave 5, vice versa, right? But we're only going to focus on Elliott wave 5. That's what's important, okay? Because we trade the boomerang, right? We've got 1, 2, and then obviously with Elliott wave 5, we're looking for the boomerang. Vice versa here, if we remove this out the way, we've got 1, 2, and third tap, got this pattern, and then we've got the boomerang. Vice versa, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boomerang, etc. That's it. It's as simple as that. And obviously number 2, I've done this wrong actually. Just move this out the way. Number 2 shouldn't go, any Elliott wave shouldn't go before either one. So it shouldn't go before Elliott wave 1. Just move it. That's it. This is just going to be all over the place. Let's do this again. Look, I'll give you an example here. The more I show you guys, the more you'll understand what I'm trying to say, right? It takes a while to understand Elliott waves. You just need to practice it. So obviously with Elliott wave 1, we can start from here. Okay, let's identify where we can potentially see some Elliott waves. So here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Quite simple, right? Just remember Elliott wave 3 has to always be above 1, right? And Elliott wave 4 has to always be above 2 when you're looking on an uptrend. You don't want to see this because then it doesn't really form a pattern. If it was here, it would look something like this, which it's impossible and wouldn't make sense. Let me show you. 1, 2, 3. Where is this going? It's not an Elliott wave. Now this just becomes a stop point and it becomes a completely different setup. So essentially you want it to follow a clear structural pattern that BLT actually do trade, which is this 1, 2, 3, 4. We're looking for the 5th wave. Quite simple. This is the best way to approach it. Now, as price develops, so is the Elliott waves. They're going to develop as well. So this would now be your number 1. This would be your number 2. 1, 2. This would be your number 3, sorry. And then this will be your number 4. And then this will be your number 5. But guess what? Notice how number 4 now closed below Elliott wave 2. So now it's an invalid setup. So we don't do that anymore. We don't trade it. And now we've got, just keep on updating it. 1, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. This is fine. And is there a pattern? Yes, there is. There we go. Look, there's our pattern. There we go. right? This is a fake out, but even though there was a fake out here, we're still part of the Elliott wave 4. It's still on its way up to take out the liquidity of Elliott wave 3. So we're looking at shorts from around. Now, obviously, there's also going to be larger Elliott waves within other Elliott waves. So there's going to be this major move here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But just make sure is in confluence with a pattern. Let's update this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This will be Elliott wave 4. It's not going to be here because it's before Elliott wave 3. It needs to be after, right? So Elliott wave 1, you ideally want it to come after. Elliott wave 2, you want it to come after Elliott wave 1. You don't want Elliott wave 2 to start here, right? That would just be invalid. You want it to be after, such as this. You don't want it to start before it. Same here, look. You want it to start after from the current price. After, not here. If there was price action here, this is not 1 and this is not 2. So you don't go 1, 2 and then go this way, right? You just need to understand the basic structure. The more you practice, the more you can identify it. Okay, let's see the current price action here, for example. What do we see? We've got 1, 2. This could be part of a larger move. There's actually multiple Elliott waves here. 3, 4, 5. But again, make sure there's a pattern. And there we go, right? So we've got 1, 2. We're not counting this because this is part of 1, 2. All of this can just be a correction. And even if you were to have this as your Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, it wouldn't make sense because you need the Elliott waves to be in confluence with a pattern. So if you see something like this and you see clear structure, clear price action, you ignore it unless the Elliott waves is in confluence with the overall pattern, right? It's very, very important. It's going to give you that extra edge in the markets. So we don't count number 2. Well, this is fine, but number 3, you don't count it here, or here, or here, or here. Count it here because it formed a larger pattern. Now, yes, this could have been updated in real time. This could have been your 3. This could have been your 4, to be honest. And if we were to identify this could have been your 5. And that's enough. And 5 is above 3, right? But obviously, as time developed, we can now extend it and update it, right? Let's look at another example, for example, anywhere random. Okay, so if we're looking for a pattern, the main principle, because sometimes it might get a little bit confusing, just draw the pattern first. Once the pattern is identified, then you can identify the Elliott wave. So look, there's a pattern here. Yep, clear pattern. It's ascending. So we start at the top, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. That's a really, really clear pattern. There we go. But over here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'll show you how. And essentially, once you've got the 1, all of this, 1 up to the 2, then you've got the 3, and the 3 was all of these, but until there's a clear rejection, such as this one, then you know that this is 4 because it's after. It's not before, it's after. And now we've got Elliott wave 5, right? This is where you want to be taking the boomerang, Elliott wave 5. Okay, another example. Let's go to the daily. It's going to work on all time frames. It's all fractional. It's all the same concepts. It's the same thing on any time frame. So for example, we could have a gigantic pattern. Let's just say we're trading this. Gigantic pattern, invalid pattern. But just to give you guys an understanding, right? This is actually the key point. Please pay attention. Right, we've got 1. We've got 2. This, we're going to ignore it. Why are we going to ignore it? Because the Elliott waves, we want it to start from the bottom of the pattern. Always from the bottom. That's how we do it. But notice how it went this way and then it went up. So we don't count this as an Elliott wave. This is the way I personally trade the BOT with Elliott waves. And it's just the way it works. So 1, 2, and because there was a rejection of this area and it's on its way up, this is our 1, 2. All of this would just be a 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then finally 5. Does that make sense? Probably doesn't. Let me repeat it a couple more times so you guys can understand. Let's go to a recent trade I took, a recent forecast. Let me see. Again, this is quite textbook. This is something I gave in the live stream earlier today, and I've got it here. Look, 1, and normally with number 1 as well, there's a breaker structure, a little new high. There's a high here, lower high. It makes the 1. Normally that's the case. That's actually very, very important. Should have said that in the beginning. Normally that's how you can identify number 1. There's other ways of doing it. You can always Google it. I'm just showing you the way I personally trade it. So number 1, number 2, number 3. If we go in real time, there's no Elliott waves. We don't know if there's number 2 yet until it actually rallies. So you can trade number 2 if you want, but I personally don't really trade number 2. I just trade number 5. And there's more advanced ways of trading Elliott waves when you look at the BOT accelerator. That's for a different aspect of the course. I mean, that will be a little bit too advanced. Right now, this is the beginner stage. The whole BOT is just to make you profitable, understand the BOT concepts, understand SMC. Accelerated is just more advanced with more mechanical rules on every single aspect of the course. Okay, now if we can see this, we can see 1, 2, 3, rejection, 4, 5. This is the boomerang that you want to be trading. Okay. So this is essentially clear structure. Now, if we're looking at a recent new point of interest, right, we could also include this. So this could be 1, 2, 3, potential 4, and then 5. But if this is only 1 over here, or even over here, it could be either. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to care about this a new high. It's just this point of interest. As long as all of this is 1 and all of this is 2, this could be 3 and then this could be 4. Just make sure there's a pattern. If there's no pattern, then there's no trade, right? So it's that simple, to be honest. Over here, again, there was a clear Elliott wave. As you can see, we've got 1 on the lower time frames. You can see there's a low high, etc. 1, 2, 3. This is not part of it until there's a rejection, and the rejection came here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now you prepare for number 5. And this is where you want to be taking trade. Let's go somewhere else. I believe this is quite old. This probably would have failed, to be honest, as a loser. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and this would have been 5. But remember, the 5, what could happen is this actually. It could rally. We're still looking for a boomerang. Price could mess around. It could do this. All of this action, price action, whether it's making highs and lows, even down here, all of this can be part of the 4th wave towards the 5th, where you want to be selling it. So this was actually a decent trade. It just never, plan A boomerang would have just failed, which I cover in a different video. Once you know what a boomerang is, and then Elliott wave 5. Okay, let's look at maybe some other examples. Let me see one. Nothing here, to be honest. And that's really essentially it. And I believe there was another trade on the S&P recently. There we go. Right, here we go. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. I'm waiting for a boomerang up here somewhere. Just remember, the most important thing is that they should always be after each other. We've got 1, got 2. 2 is not before 1. And then we've got 3. We've got 4. 4 shouldn't be before 3. And then obviously 5 shouldn't be before 3 as well. I mean, that would be impossible because it's not going to go sideways to the left, is it? Right? So as long as the Elliott wave is structurally in confluence with a pattern, a BOT pattern, then we can implement it. Really important. Just make sure that's part of the game plan. Let me just see if there's any more examples here. Which one do you draw first? Fair, doesn't really matter. As long as it's clear and it's visible, doesn't have to be too perfect. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's a little short, could have failed, but you would have made some profit. So we have 1. And even here, for example, again, it's fractions. You're going to see many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is obviously, that's not right. Again, you need to really, really make sure you do this properly. So yeah, it would have been here actually. So not bad. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice little trade. Once you know the structure of the pattern, which is always like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you can see it, then it's just a lot easier to determine where the boomerang is going to be valid. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we sell it, right? And then you can target the middle of the pattern or Elliott wave 4, right? Which is normally a good area to be targeting. And notice how there's a nice little pattern there. As you can see, pretty decent. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. We're trading the 3rd tap of the fake out for shorts. And we've got 1 tap, 2 tap, 3rd tap, or the 3 aces, Elliott wave 5. It's just this point of interest. But then even within this Elliott wave, also have a larger Elliott wave, wherever you may see it. Let me see. Right. So what I normally do is I would just do like a larger, get the pattern right first, go, and then update it into a valid pattern, which is this. And then within the Elliott waves, they're going to have 1, 2. All of this here will be 3. All of this will be 4, and then 5. We change the color, make it simpler to understand. Delete this real quick. So essentially, you've got 1, 2. All of this will be 3. All of this area here will be 4, which is this one here. Over here, 4. It's after 4. There we go. And then we've got 5. And obviously, use the other confluence that you learn within the course to determine the end, right? Where else do we have? Let's go to another random example, dollar yen examples here. Or I can give you something like this just to give you guys a further understanding. Hold on, descending. This could be either a wedge or a channel or a little expanding is fine as long as the pattern is valid. Let's just do it just for educational purposes, just to make it easier. Ask yourself, where should your Elliott wave 1 start from if you're looking for a descending pattern? If you're looking for a descending pattern, you should be looking for buys. You should be looking for buys, and then you should be looking for sells or ascending, right? As an example. But at the same time, you can also look for shorts within a descending pattern, okay? Right? So normally it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a valid trade. Pretty decent trade, right? Elliott wave 5. Catch the boomerang, which I'm going to show you in a separate video. How to catch the Elliott wave 5 boomerang. Trading the boomerang in general. After, I'll connect the dots for you guys in the future videos, right? So this is essentially how it should look like. And vice versa. If you're looking for the shorts, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what happens if, for example, let's just say there's this move 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you see an entry here, right? An Elliott wave 4. Do we take this? No, we don't, because that's a different setup. 1, 2, 3, right? You want to be taking a boomer, okay? So it's just gonna save you some time. But essentially, it's just to give you guys structure. It's to give you guys where is price likely to go to next. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to give you that guideline. It's like an indicator, right? If we go to randomly down here somewhere, and if we just go to a random time, this is how can we use Elliott waves to determine the future of price? Essentially, that's what it is. So from what I can see here, there's nothing really interesting for me. So what I'll personally do is I'll just have a wave from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the 5 is only valid once Elliott wave 4 is complete, if it gets complete. So if I see this price action, this is the first sort of scoop, and then after you want to see this scoop, and then you want to see this scoop, this is where you want to be taking your boomerang for sure. So unless that happens, there's no trades. Continue. Okay, invalid Elliott wave. Elliott wave 4 has to be above and after Elliott wave 2, obviously gone below. If there was a rejection, that would have been valid. So let's see. But also take into account, there will be a larger Elliott wave. This will be one that I'll count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has potential. Look, all of this, even if it makes a new low, what's important is this scoop. That's what's important. That's what you need to remember. It's going to make new lows all the time and new highs, but it's until you see the actual rejection, all of this accumulation, that's when you can identify, okay, this is a valid Elliott wave. So at the moment, we've got 1, 2, we've got our first scoop, and then we've got 3. See that? The next scoop. Now we're anticipating this scoop. As long as it doesn't close below 2, and if it rallies up here, we know this is a valid boomerang entry, and then we can identify potentially a pattern here, right? 1, 2, right? And then 3, and then boomerang, for example, right? Just remember that scoop. It's just training the eye. It's just repetition. Try not to get too fixated on details such as making a new high, you're updating it. Just wait for the rejection. That's it. You just need to wait for it. That's all you need to do. Let's see what happens. But is it still quite valid? There, invalid. It got invalid because it made a new low. Took out that structure. So let's see what is actually happening, around here, for example. What do we have? Let me see. Let's do this here. I'm going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is descending. So is this correct? No. Remember, we need to always start from the bottom. Where is the bottom? Down here, right? It will be from here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is actually quite clean. And 5, obviously, it's not going to be here. It needs to be below 3. It needs to be in confluence with some form of pattern. So we've got this pattern here and this sort of expanding. And because this is an invalid pattern, then we want to update it to a valid pattern that we traded. This is more valid now. So this 1 can move here. Again, it doesn't really matter exactly which one is correct. As long as you can see that scoop, then it just becomes easier. And then boom. So this is something I'll be looking at. Elliott wave 5 entry. Let's see if it's valid. If it closes above 4, then it's invalid. So there we go. It's invalid. But now it's formed something else. Yeah, even this is invalid as well. Look, 1, 2, 3, and it closed below here, right? So it's invalid. Let's go to some recent patterns. Okay, there could be a new pattern here. Look, a new pattern here. Let's delete this, delete this. So what can we identify? There's a few scenarios, to be fair. This could be our new, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's wait for a setup now. We've got some movement. There we go. There's a lot of structure points here, right? So from what I can see here, notice again, we have multiple number 1s. This could be a number 1 here. This could be a number 1. This can be a number 1. All of these can be Elliott wave 1. That's where they can originally start from. Either from here, from here, from here. Which one do you use? We don't know yet until the patterns in conference a bit. So the moment we've got 1 somewhere here, 2, 3, 4, and potentially on his way up from 5. So either way, it doesn't really matter. But this one definitely not, because it would have closed above 3, right? So it's one of these two. Which one? It doesn't matter. It does not matter which one until you draw a pattern with it, right? So we've got this high from that high that I just done it, this high here, and then we've got this area here. So really there's 2 trend lines, both are valid. We've got plan A, plan B, and then we've got Elliott wave 2 starting from here. So we've got 1 from either this high or this high. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we know Elliott wave 5 is going to be approximately over there. And this was an invalid setup. This is actually another way of trading Elliott waves, but it's not something that I personally trade. But we do have a entry that I do cover in BLT Accelerated, where we could have caught this trade here, but that's for a different video, so I can ignore that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so no valid trades there. Okay, let's continue. Anything else? This could be another trade here as well. Look, 1, 2, potentially 3, 4, 5. And sometimes you're going to make mistakes because if you're looking for a descending structure, right, Elliott wave 5 has to be at the bottom for the buys. So already this is wrong. So what you can do is work backwards. So sometimes that's what I do. When I make a mistake, I'm tired, whatever, go backwards. So this should be your 5, it should be your 4, it should be your 3, it should be your 2, and then your 1 should be done here. And is there a 1? No. So there's no trades yet. So it's all about remembering, you know, the sort of scoop 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Or you go backwards, right? If you think this is 5, 5, or there's anywhere a low here, then you use it. I recommend watching some YouTube videos if this is not clear enough. No. Okay, let's zoom out a little bit, see if there's anything that we could potentially see. Maybe I've missed something. Yeah, potentially here. Look, let's actually tidy this up. Let's go to the H4. Right? Do we have anything? There's this pattern here and this pattern here. You can see now we've got 1, 2. This is not 3. None of these are 3, guys, ladies and gents. 3 starts the moment a pattern is in confluence with it. The moment a pattern is activated, such as this clear pattern. So 1, 2, 3, and then obviously 4 would be up here somewhere, and then 5. And there we go. There's our pattern. So this would be 4. And then 5 is the entry where you want to be taking the boomerang, which I'm going to cover later on. Okay. So just make sure there's a pattern. This is a very valid Elliott wave, but let's say there's another pattern this way. Look, there might be another Elliott wave forming here, a more sort of recent one. And again, it's the same principle. There's going to be Elliott waves everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it could either reverse from 5 or it can reverse from here. As long as the pattern's in confluence, you've got plan A, plan B. But the main principle, the main way you should be using Elliott waves is to determine potential future price. So the fact that price is reversed from here and there's 2 patterns, such as this one here, you've got Elliott wave 5 here and Elliott wave 5 from this smaller descending channel based off, you know, you've got this larger pattern here. The fact that you've got 2 Elliott waves 5, point of interest from here or this one, either way, that's giving you double confirmation that price is very likely going to go to the bare minimum Elliott wave 5, which should be done here. And obviously it needs to be below 3, as you can see, right? So sometimes you're going to get multiple Elliott waves within a target that's just going to give you double the confirmation. Let's see. If we zoom out, anything else I can potentially see? Not necessarily. Let's go to the M1 so you can see more. Right? I'm just doing multiple videos, multiple examples, so you guys can actually see exactly where price can potentially reverse from. Let's go to a random area on M1 and see what we can find. Again, patterns and Elliott waves, they're like a perfect married couple. It's very, very important. Okay, so where would I start my Elliott wave? So if I'm looking for shorts, if I've got a short bias, I'll have the pattern ready. Well, at the moment, there's no pattern here, right? So there's no trades. But if I were to do a trade and plan the Elliott waves in advance, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'll just be visualizing this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And obviously vice versa. You could also do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You know, just visualize this pattern here. Look, boom, this way, and this way. That's it. You can have descending or you can have ascending. But what's important is that you'll be trading the BLT pattern at Elliott wave 5, even if it's descending. You can vice versa do it on the way up, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Obviously, once the candlesticks are there, you'll be able to identify the correct pattern, etc., and vice versa here. So you sort of just start to visualize it, right? Just get used to that swoop I keep on going on about. Just this. That's it. That's what you need to remember. Remember that pattern. Okay, let's go into future price. Again, there's nothing clear for me, to be fair. All I can see is this 1, 2, and then it failed because it never closed above 1. So nothing here. So let's start again. 1, 2. This is fine because it closed above here. So we've got valid 1, valid 2, valid 3, valid 4, right? Because it's not below here and it's not above here. It's valid 4 and then valid 5. Now, have we got a pattern there? Yes, we do. I believe we do. Look, something there. And we've got a valid boomerang, which I'll cover in a different video. And now it's moving sideways, a bit hard to trade. Best advice, if you can't see Elliott waves, just step away until this clear price action. Most likely it's probably 11 p.m., 10 p.m. Yeah, it's 10, 11 p.m. when it's moving sideways, just a bit ugly and messy. Just wait for the London session to open. Right now, there's Asia. Yeah, you'll probably find some price action there. Now notice how now we're seeing some clear structure. This is wait. And let's see, do we see any sort of potential patterns, right? So say 1, 2, 3 invalid because it's below 1, right? So everything else is it's just completely invalid. This is no trade. Fine, no problem. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, London is about to open 6 in the morning, December, but there should be some price action. There we go. This is quite clear. Look how clear this was. Low, lower high, and it dropped, right? When you can identify that pattern, then you can identify number 1, number 2, number 3, because it was above number 1, and then number 4 and number 5. This is perfect. What's important is that 3 closed above 1, and then obviously 5 closed above 3, and 4 is above 2. It didn't go below it. These are the simple rules that you need to know. This is very, very simple, right? But it takes a while to actually get accustomed to the price actions. So we've got 1, 2, and then you've got that scoop. You've got the first scoop, this scoop, that scoop, and then this scoop, and then you've got your pattern, right? And then we just repeat the process, and then we just keep on doing it. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Brought the high valid. So this would have been a nice little short. And again, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. The moment it's not valid, but once price is here, if price gets there, that would be a valid Elliott wave 5, which would be in confluence with pattern. As you can see, it's all about identifying this movement here. That's it. Just practice moving. Just practice this. Just practice. And then Elliott wave 5, and vice versa for the shorts. We start here from the bottom, the top. That's it. Elliott wave 5. And just make sure there's a pattern and confluence of it. And we take the buy, which I'll show you in a different video. Let's continue. Pretty sure that by now you guys understand Elliott waves. It's quite complex when you Google and YouTube it because there's multiple different variables, but I'm just showing you guys the most simplest way to trade it with the BLT. So just to recap, just to summarize, we've got multiple Elliott waves here, but what if there's some more Elliott waves, right? So for example, we can even have this, look, 1, 2, this would have been fine, 3, and then this is quite important. Did it close below it or above it? Let's delete this. 1, 2, 3, 4. See what we've got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 for the boomerang. But guess what? It was quite, all right, it was a little bit below 4, which is fine. So yeah, this is fine. This is another example, as you can see, but there needs to be a pattern. Was there actually a pattern? Okay, you can more or less see there's some form of a pattern. Now, the patterns doesn't have perfect. I'm just showing you guys, just how it should be looking like. Okay, some other examples. Okay, let's look at the daily time frame, right? If you're a swing trader or even day traders, you can use this. So what do we have? Obvious new structure break, as you can see this move here. So we can start this as a number 1. 1, 2, 3, 4th wave will be here, and then 5th. The 5th wave, we should be looking for shorts, right? Because we're most likely going to be trading this 1, 2, 3, 4, and then boomerang for the shorts, which I'll cover in a different video. Another example, you can have Elliott waves within Elliott waves. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So if we change this to yellow, there is also going to be opposite Elliott waves within each other, right? So we've got 1, 2, the white one, 3, 4, I'm talking about the white one, and then 5. So in this example, you can actually take buys from around here, or you can also take shorts because of this recent Elliott waves. This happened actually a little bit before. Shouldn't be too complicated. Just understand, is it a valid pattern? Is Elliott wave 5 in confluence with a tap? That's all you need to worry about. I could honestly go into more detail with Elliott waves, but now I just want to simplify the BLT for it. I think simplicity is such a powerful tool that many traders overestimate its potential. A lot of traders like to complicate stuff with explaining a pattern or a Fibonacci or an Elliott wave, and this is no point. If I just show you what works and why, that's all you need. Let's look at one more last example and see if we can find anything clear. See, just focus on the pattern. Here, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, not really a trade. Well, we could look for a short, as you can see from around here, if there was a setup, as long as it doesn't close above this wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 could be anywhere here apart from up here, as long as it's not up here. If it comes up here, that means there's a new Elliott wave forming this way, right? So you can use both of them to your advantage to identify future market predictions. Okay, that's enough. In the next videos, I'm going to cover how to actually connect the dots in the next couple of videos, using the boomerang, using the Elliott wave 5 as a guideline to understanding an overall market psychology and market structure for your entries.